Look at that. These plants around here, just like you buy at Payne's Nursery. Lots of mother-in-law tongues. Come back and we'll sort through this storeroom. Here, lots of junk. Side of the house, lots of plumbing. Actually, not maybe the drain for the washing machine. Inlet for the main water supply. Sewer line cleanouts. Imagine this is the main water supply line. supply line to the exterior faucet. Yeah, nice to have this nice outside faucet. A little counter, I guess, for cleaning coffee is what the owner told me. And there we go. You got concrete columns, metal beams, little LED lighting, and rock-looking tile. I don't see, they're the joints. There are joints in there. They seem to be about a foot square. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They seem to be wider. Rows. 10, 11, one down below, 12 plus rows of coffee. Not a lot of beans. A few beans. I guess they're much easier to spot when they're red. The detail of the leaf that helps us identify the species. Here I am right in the middle of all this coffee. Some tree with a lot of bean pods. Yeah, less plants as we get more into the sun. Lots of good mulch underground. Not sure if they need fertilizer. Here's a bunch of beans. Cherries. Not sure what they're called at the various stages. But anxious to find out. Walking back up to the house. More coffee plants. Huh. They're everywhere. Hearing some good bird sounds up here. Let's see. Here comes the sun. Just love this palm tree. Looks like there's maybe two of them growing together. weed whacker is at the property across the street. Huh? More coffee plants. Surprise. I don't see any beans. No cherries. Oh, there's some. There's some cherries in there. Not many, but a few. Another coffee plant, another one. Walking around being careful for snakes. Beer cans on the property. Anyway, this property is much larger than I even thought it was. All the way up the hill is the middle. More coffee. Wow. It's surprising. Lots of cherries here. Oh my God. Can't believe there's more coffee. This is a true coffee farm now. Big gap in the fence. Big spider web. More coffee, more coffee. Oh my goodness. So many coffee plants, more beans. Más café. More coffee. I think I see a little concrete under here already. But even in four-wheel drive, I felt the truck slipping a little bit. And this driveway is a little bit steep. Not crazy, but glad they don't get snow here. So here's our neighbor's property, where they just cut and cut and cut. And it just seems a little too clear cut for my taste. And then we got the area where Angel has not cut. And it looks like this. So maybe there's a happy medium. But here you can get a feel for how high up the driveway goes. I love these beautiful plants that line the driveway. Some boulders, stumps, palm trees. learn the name of these. I'd like to get more of these. Maybe get a little bit more of a living fence between the neighbor and I, just for a little more privacy if he ever builds. Just unbelievable. All the giant orchids up in the trees. I walked up to the property on foot and took about 25 minutes. Pretty steep uphill here and there, but not too bad. From our hotel, La Quilla, turned out to be almost a mile, maybe a little shorter, from the very center of town where the church and the soccer fields are. All right, so here we are getting up toward the house. Here's the water storage tanks and the well house without a well. I'm not quite sure how it worked exactly, but they had a pipe coming from the stream over in that direction, and they ran into the pump house here, and I guess that pump has seen better days. It wasn't used for a long time, so it's rusted out. Then we have this holding tank. I don't know if it's good anymore, but additionally we have this breaker for electricity for 220 here, so this would be a great place to have all the well equipment. I guess the water went in there. This is the trail down to the additional lot. And so that adds about a hectare and a quarter, I believe. I'll just go down to this tree here and look down. Another great tree with rocks all around it, and this incredible vine going all the way up. And again, Angel cut this path down to the storage shed, and there you can see our neighbor's property, kind of clear cut, the fence between us and them. I wasn't going to go down too far, but well, let's go down so we can get a scale for where the shed is. A lot of horse manure on this path. I haven't seen the horse on the property yet, but obviously he was here recently. There we can see the shed down at the bottom. And then there's a little bit of a gate through the barbed wire fence down there. It makes it for a little bit of a shortcut for walking to town. And again, my neighbor's property. And I'm gonna go on back up. A little concerning. Here's the electrical wire dipping down pretty low. Going to that pole to the well house. Going back into the jungle, and we've got this old fence line that used to have a fence on it, I'm told. Around the house, beautiful purple flowers. See what they are? More palm. More banana trees sprouting up. And I can't quite see it, but there's a big pond right over the embankment there behind the fence.